Gary says Palm Springs here, Gary from Palm Springs. Just to verify, the blueprint product that he purchased in December, which describes the full married put technique that we use, the 12 different income methods against it. And Gary ordered the home study kit, which includes the 6 Mastery Series videos with the blueprint. He just wants to verify that the home study kit and the 6 discs are all web access and not physical receipt. Gary, that is correct. If you decide to purchase the blueprint, it is immediate access e-delivery. You will get an account set up for you at our educational website, learn.poweropt.com. And there you'll be able to access the electronic copy of the blueprint, the full text. And of course, if you go to the home study kit, access to the videos of the 6 Mastery Series CDs as well. So it's instant access, all online at learn.poweropt.com once you place your order for the blueprint. Now, when we were talking about the low volatility a while ago, Doug had commented it's a good time for the married puts with the costs. Yeah, the married put costs are a little bit lower now that volatility is falling. However, that has hurt my underlying profit on the BERY position, I believe, because I did buy it a month ago and implied volatility was higher. So I've lost some time value on that protective put, but the stock has been going up, but I'm seeing a little bit more decay on that put option than I would like. That's why I sold a call on it recently to hedge some of the loss of that as well. This leads us to Ram's question. Don't worry, Frank, we'll get to you in just a moment. Ram's question says, is it good to go long with a married put on a stock on a long-term bullish trend? Yes. I mean, that's what we look for. In the blueprint we talked about earlier, the all-electronic product, when we talked about how to access it there, we go to the search for the married put tool. And here you see the settings that we use that's based on the rules in the blueprint, the guidelines in the blueprint for what kind of stocks we look for. And yes, we're looking for stocks in an uptrend that have regular volume and volatility. And we're also looking for some positive earnings per share growth as well. And I may even add a MACD screen into this RAM also, okay? And so you'll see most of the stocks that are in here, there's Power, that was a married put we had a coaching session on this week. Another customer, Fortinet was one I also talked about with a customer, and Pinterest was one we discussed the other day. Ally is one that I'm considering as a new married put, probably next week. Wish I would have done it sooner, but I was in the other 2 positions. So let's just take a look at PINS. Okay, so it's been moving up strongly since a pullback. Since the decline is about 72, 73, and now it's up to about 85 in just the last week. So it's been going pretty strong. So do I think this is a good time to enter the potential trade? Yes. And that's, I entered it near the beginning of it was still on a good bullish run you saw for Masco. I entered it during that bullish run and it kept going. BERY was a little bit different that we looked at a moment ago. Yeah, Masco, sorry, folks. Want to say that I entered Masco right in here. I'm sorry, I didn't have my pen. There we go. Somewhere in this range as the bull move started is when I entered Masco. And of course, you see that, yeah, it was about, actually it's a little bit lower, but it was right around here when it was around 54, 55, and we've had it go up in this direction. Okay, and that came directly from that search list, by the way. The Masco position RAM came directly from that search list when I entered the position. BERY wasn't so much. I entered this previously, I think. This is an older trade, if I'm not mistaken. I think I entered it back in February of no, it wasn't there. Okay, I see where it was. I'm sorry, it was around the same time, actually. It was here. That's when I think I entered the BERY position. So it did have a pullback. I didn't bother adjusting the put at that time. And then it had its nice little run up to here afterwards as well. And so what income methods can you use? Hey, I already used income method number 4 on Masco. Adjusted the put, cut the risk down from 7%, I think down to about 3%. Haven't sold a call yet. On BERY, I did sell a call, but I haven't adjusted the put yet because it hasn't gone above my put strike price. A good choice to use might also be income method number 6 as the stock moves up as well. And those are all discussed, of course, in the blueprint. And if you get into the position and the stock reverses, well, there's income methods discussed in the blueprint to help you handle that, manage that as well. And your follow-up question, Ram, was once we find one or more suitable trades and power options, is a way to export the trade details to text file or Excel. there is not a direct export from the search field. Okay? The reason why is that in the early days, Ernie actually had customers do that, export it to Excel, and then they created websites that looked like blogs with our data in it from an Excel spreadsheet. They caught on to that pretty quick. Now, it's not a fail-safe. You can still do it an easy way, but there's no direct link from the search RAM because of that reason. But there is a field here when you have your search results for printer-friendly version. Of course. I don't know why that didn't work. Maybe it didn't like the married put structure. Let's try that again. Oh, that's the bold put. So let me try the married put again. If it errors, there we go. So why is this good, RAM? Well, what this does is this allows you now to more easily copy and paste these pages and stick them right in from the printer-friendly version. Okay, that is a workaround, but you have to use the printer-friendly version. Trying to copy and paste directly from the search, you end up with all the HTML and other, some JavaScript for the images and things of that nature. The shading in the background can cause an issue. Printer-friendly version should allow you to copy and paste pretty quickly into Excel if that's what you want to do. Now, that being said, an important point, of course, is we've designed these tools to allow flexibility for a variety of different option criteria, stock criteria, calculations. Any of the filters that we could use down below to screen in any strategy, I can see in the field by clicking Add Remove Columns. Now, you're exporting it to Excel. I understand why, and you probably have some other equations, calculations, or column comparisons that you want to do. Well, if there's a certain aspect, and this is for anyone, not just RAM, if there's a certain aspect that you're using in Excel or a data column that you're taking from another source that you're using to compare it to, let us know. We might be able to incorporate it right here on the search. So the idea is maybe not to have the need to take it to Excel if we can get most of what you want or all of what you want potentially in Power Options that you're using Excel to do. That's what we would like to do for you if it is possible in that case. Okay, so let's just take a look here. Why not? I don't know if I adjusted my portfolio positions here. I did not. How about that? All right, so I'm going to take Masco. And remember, it's at 62.98. And let's just go to the profit and loss chart. Okay, so here's the Masco married put. Purchase the stock at 56.03. July 60 put at 7. And again, it's 56.03. As I mentioned, it was purchased around this time, right when it started, yeah, it's right around here, was it? Yeah, it's close to there. It was in this range. I think it was this day that this move started or the day before. I think it was this day here when I got in at 56.03. All right, long story short, where is it? It's getting up to the top, moving up on a bullish run, getting to the Bollinger Band, and what we wanted. Okay, so why am I going back into this basic profit and loss chart here for the actual position? Well, it's because as I'm tracking this position in the portfolio, I just wanted to show the original risk there. When I go to position actions and position analysis, the stock's at 62.98 is above my put strike price. I've rolled it up to the 65 to take the risk down in this case. And so here we see the rollout opportunities right here. It could sell the May 65 call, get a $1.28 premium. Again, not a lot. We talked about this in the volatility when we were talking about the spreads for Masco. But it would, of course, reduce the risk down to 2.8%. Here, rolling up to the July 65 put takes my risk down to 0.7%, almost bulletproofs the trades. And I see an income method number 6 opportunity I could use that would leave the upside open and generate $1 net credit. Not as high as, that's really kind of odd. That 70 call must be extraordinary. It must be 20 cents. It's only 28 cents. Okay, that's why. In this case. So why did I choose to use 4 instead of selling the call to get income? Why haven't I sold the call on Masco to get income? Why haven't I done this income method number 6 yet? And as I mentioned, sorry, folks, it's because earnings are coming up at the beginning of May. This only has May options. If this had weekly series, and if there was any premium in the April 16th call, I probably would have sold it. It's at 5 cents. And there's no weeklies before the earnings come out on May 4th. So what did I know? I knew I had a profit in the position. I knew I'm in a position to get income. I also know I'm in a position to reduce risk on the trade to near nothing with earnings coming up in a month. That was my choice. If the earnings disappoint and Masco falls drastically back down to 55 or 54, I've lowered my risk to 0.7%, and I can potentially even bulletproof it after that move goes down to no risk on the position, even now that it's below my cost basis. That's the power of the married puts and the income methods. If it surprises and gaps up to 68 or 69, I don't want to be short the 65 call. I don't want to have a capped gain in this case. But doing the 4 and then adding the 6 to it, combining income methods, that's a chapter in the blueprint, might be really attractive. But it still involves selling a 65 call. I may want to leave the upside open more than that again. So Ram, that's what we'd be looking at. That's what income methods I would use. In this case, if I have a runner that's moving up, I'm going to use 4 to potentially bulletproof the trade or get close to it. Then I'm going to get some premium to help with the debit that came from income method number 4 as well. If I think I've topped out, I'm going to decline. I think I've topped out and I think it's going to pull back, then that's what I'm going to do. That's when I might look at income method number 12 in that case.